Hi, welcome back to my channel. I have my front door open, so you may hear my neighbors driving off to work. And then the ticking that you hear, okay, that was one of my neighbors. The ticking that you hear, one is the Haunted Mansion clock from Disneyland, and then the other is a cuckoo clock my husband purchased from work. I'm still having issues with my right wrist. I don't have an after the pin video to share with you. So instead, I thought today I would talk a little bit about my Traveler's Notebook and the inserts that I've used in them. This is both standard size. This is the limited edition road trip, and then this one is the limited edition diner edition. Over here in the corner, I have two little items in case you're wondering why they're sitting there. This is Gudetama as a sumo wrestler sitting in miso soup. I have him on my laptop beside this Hobonichi Not So Scary Bear. This was a free gift that Hobonichi gave you. I think it was in 2022. This is the first year I haven't used any Hobonichi items other than my A5 diary, which I purchased back in 2022 to start using in 2023. But the month of August is the preview for Hobonichi, but I've been sort of loosely following the previews. I'm still in the group, the Hobonichi group on Facebook, and somebody posted a photo of their free gift if you purchase the qualifying items to get the free gift and pin. Their free gift is a robot, which will match perfectly with my Not So Scary Bear. Can you see his little toes? But the robot would match perfectly with the Not So Scary Bear. It's probably going to be just about the same size, and this guy's pretty small. And I thought it was really cute. So let me insert that photo here. Now, is that tempting enough for me to think about Hobonichi again? Honestly, the answer is yes. The free shipping is now gone. They're sending to the US. I am located in Los Angeles. I'm in Southern California. And I generally ordered a lot so that I could hit the free shipping, and then I would go crazy with the covers and stuff. If you've watched my past videos regarding all the covers that I have a lot of covers. I think I ended up with, I think I counted 25 covers. I really don't need any more. Do I want that robot to go with my Not So Scary Bear? Yes. I thought I had 2026 figured out. I was going to use the Wonderland 222 as my catch-all planner. I was going to use Sterling Ink's notebook, A5 size, as my writer's notebook journal. That way I can lay it out how I like, and I'm not stuck with the structure of like the calendar, the weekly layout, which I've been doing the past couple of months, but it's been feeling overwhelming doing that the past couple of weeks, given the life, health events between my husband and myself, that I kind of want to pare it down. Right now, today, I don't know if I'm going to purchase from Hobonichi, but in order for me to purchase from them, I need to figure out what I'm going to use that planner for, whether it's going to be the Cousin or the A6 Techo. I will link the preview page down below for Hobonichi in case you want to follow along and see what they release every day. If you're part of the Facebook Hobonichi group, you can also see it there because people do post photos of what's being released, and then you can comment or read the comments. Last year I used the inserts that I purchased from Traveler's Notebook. This is one half of the two inserts that you would get from Traveler's Notebook. I couldn't find the other one, so I'm assuming that I packed it away in one of the boxes, and I don't have the strength to pull the box off the shelf and to rifle through it. So instead, I pulled out a blank insert because they basically are the same thickness. Now, if you purchase from the Traveler's Notebook, there are two inserts for the year. One insert goes from January to June. The second insert, which is this one, goes from July to December. If you decide to put both inserts into your Traveler's Notebook, now there's only 3 in here, but you can see how thin it is. It's not very thick. It fits perfectly, so there's no real overhang. Now compared to this one, which is the Sterling Ink N1 size. If you want to buy from Sterling Ink the Hobonichi Weeks size, that is the N2. The one that fits into the standard size traveler's notebook is the N1. So you know what, let me take out. There is a very small overhang, but it's not enough to, so I don't know if you can see that. I'll hang it over. So you can see just a little bit. But in here, I just have the Sterling Ink N1. And then I have this plastic cover thing. And then like a folder I made out of cardboard and some old Christmas wrapping that my sister gave me that I really liked. I like Snoopy and Woodstock. And I just thought it was cute. And then here's the N1 that I was talking about. And then there's the other half of the plastic insert. And again, in here, there's just 3 inserts. So here's 1. There's 2 that came with the cover. And then here's 3. And in case you're wondering, with the traveler's notebook, it looks like this. So you got the strings. So you would slide one of the inserts on this top middle string. Let me pull this one. That's kind of like your page keeper. So you would slide this insert in here like this. And if you wanted to, just have that one. So you can see how thin that is. Or you can add 2 more. You can obviously go thicker if you want with your inserts. I keep these at home. They don't really travel with me. If my husband and I were to go out and eat, or if we, did a little day trip, I would just take photos, leaving this at home. And then when I get home, I would print out the photos and then write about it. Right? So for instance, like this, when we went to medieval times for my husband's birthday. So I just took pictures of it. And then the pictures help remind me of the time that we had at the location. Right, so this kind of gives you an idea. Now, if you wanted to add a few more notebooks, a few more inserts into your planner, you can buy a band, which I can't find it. There it is. So it's right here. And then you slide it in the middle of the 2 notebook inserts. So it's like that. You would grab the 1 insert. You would slide it in between the first insert and the cover. And then you pull. And now you're in. So now you can see it. So you got insert number 1. Insert number 2. And then insert number 3. And honestly, if I think last year when I used this, I only used 1 insert in here. And then the other 2 inserts was my travel, this guy, as well as a blank one in case I needed it, versus just keeping 2 in here. Hi, this is Future Editing Me. I forgot to show you what it looked like in here and then compare it to the N1. So let's do that now. I will try and be as quick as possible. So this is the first page. So this is what it looks like, right? Comparison to this one. You get 2 blanks. Then you get the goal breakdown, which I mentioned that this one does not have. This is great if you know what your goals are and how you want to break it down. I never figured it out what I wanted to do in consideration with my meal tracker, exercise, and weight. This is the yearly tracker, which I don't think, yeah, so there's not one. Okay, hang on. Let's do it like this. So I never figured out what to do with this one. Now this is where it's sort of similar here. For Q1, my priority was to do exercise Monday through Friday, and then to also do arm weights Saturday and Sunday. And then this is your month, which Traveler's Notebook doesn't have. Instead, they do the month breakdown like this. So for both here and here, I kept track of my weight and my steps. Actually, let me keep that there. This is December, January, February of 2025. Q2, Q3, which is where we are now. Q4, you can see the handprint. I do press down hard when I write. Guess it would have been helpful to have a pencil board there. This is your monthly layout. So this is December. And for here, the Traveler's Notebook, it jumps straight into the weekly layout. So there's no monthly like this one. This one, Sterling Ink, has the entire year in one book. Traveler's Notebook, you get 2 inserts. So you get January through June, July through December. So they don't have this. So for that, we'll jump to, let's say this. I'll show you a blank one just so you can see how they look very similar. And then this is how I use it. And this is how I used it here. Now the difference for me between last year and this year was that I started keeping track of the eye drops that I'm supposed to be using. I'm trying to be better with it, you know, with my eye issues, but I didn't have to worry about that last year. So instead I just kept track of like symptoms of anything that I may have. In this particular case, I was having a cough and I was feeling pretty dizzy. And then over here, I was having some back pain in January. But, so each day for me here is the same. So I'll put it back here. And then this is also the same. But you can see how they're both the same layout. Now the back here only has the departure page for travelers. 1, 2, 3, 4 blank pages. Because this would be the first week of January and then the blank page corresponding to that. So you have 4 blank pages in the back. Whereas with this one, let me switch. You have quite a bit more, which makes it similar to the Hobonichi weeks. So I hope that helps explain a little bit, showing you the difference between the Traveler's Company Notebook insert versus the Sterling Ink N1 insert. Okay, now we're going to go back to the video. Whereas with the Sterling Ink, so it's the same setup. In this case, with the Sterling Ink and the plastic cover, I have the string between the Sterling Ink N1 and the plastic cover. So I hope you can see what that looks like. If you wanted to and you didn't want to use the plastic cover, you can put the string in the middle of the page. And then this is what a blank page looks like. Blank page in the sense of not filled in like the way that I do it. Now I've been torn. I thought for sure when I bought the Sterling Ink last year that this year I would have more doctor appointments that I would need to fill up the back. At the start of the year, I was doing okay. My husband was doing okay. So this felt really wasteful. I wasn't really using it. But given my health issues the past couple of weeks, I've started keeping track of, I've been having problems with my eyes. And so I've been keeping track of how many times it's flared up. And I stamped the rest of the year in here so that I can mark down the days that it showed up. The days that are not marked are the days that my eyes are normal. And then like right today we're the 7th, and you know, thank God, knock on wood, no occurrence. I'm hoping I can get past 2 weeks, because this was less than 2 weeks before it came back. If I can get past the 2 weeks, it will be great. And then I just need to figure out what's causing it. And I really think it's just maybe just stress and worry with what's going on right now. And then this one, I am keeping track of my, I'm calling it my medication tracker, and I think I spelled that wrong. MEDIC medical. No, I spelled that right. Why does that look funny? This is my medication tracker. So the medication that I'm on, my doctor is, we're both assuming that the medication that I'm on, it's what's causing my pain issues. So I have trigger thumb on my left thumb, and then I have, again, this tendonitis on my right wrist. Stop the medication, and at the time that I stopped it, 2 weeks later would have been August 6th, which is yesterday. I was going to evaluate my pain, and if it was hurting less, I would start my medication back up. Unfortunately for me, the pain's the same. It hasn't increased, which is great, but it hasn't decreased, which is not great. So I'm going to take it to the 20th. So I'm going to add 2 more weeks and gauge my pain level. If it's still the same on August 20th, probably on the 21st, I'm going to reach out to her and ask her if I can extend my wait time on the medication of restarting it. The option that I have right now is to do cortisone shots, and that's something that I don't want to do because I heard it's painful. I started keeping track of some wax cubes that we purchased, and I do need to add 1 more, which is a maybe. So I wrote down the brand, the scent name, whether we like it, dislike it, whether it's a rebuy, and then I should put a maybe. And I kind of wish I didn't. I wish I gave myself some space between this one and then like the scent name, so that I can describe the smell. Like the one I think I have lit right now is the Key Lime Cake Pop, and it smells interesting. Yeah, so I kind of wish I gave myself some room to describe it. So if you're doing this, if you decide to track wax scents, and I'm very new to this, to the wax scent. Like I said, I think in my last video, I purchased one, I think during Prime Day, and it had a dog on it. And I just wanted something to look at to kind of calm down and relax. You know, and think of Bruce. So in case you're new, Bruce was our English Bulldog. He passed away of cancer on December 23 of last year. It's been 8 months that he's been gone. But I've only used a couple of pages back here, and I have this much more to go. But we still have, it's 8, so 4 more months to go. I may fill this up if I have more health appointments. So I think that's it. If you guys have any questions about the Traveler's Notebook, the insert, or the N1 from Sterling Ink, feel free to ask down below. I personally would not use a Hobonichi Weeks or the Sterling Ink N2, only because I want to use my Traveler's Notebook covers. I have 4 total. 3 are from Traveler's Company, and then 1 is just, it was my first one that I purchased from Amazon that I wanted to try to use to see if I would like it. And that was the one that I took with me to Walt Disney World when we went in 2017, sort of as like a late honeymoon travel with my in-laws and my husband's nephews, before I splurged on the Traveler's Notebook editions. And I have no regrets, but I do want to use them, which is why if I do purchase the insert to put in here, it's either going to be from the Traveler's Notebook or the Sterling Ink N1. Again, I will have the Hobonichi preview listed down below in case you want to look at it. And I will talk to you guys next week. Hopefully my wrist will be better. I'm going to try to rest it so that I can get caught up in my planners so that I can do an after the pin video of my Hobonichi 5-year, which I use as my sketchbook, the Wonderland 222, which I use as my writer's planner, journal, and notebook, the Sterling Ink Catch-All, which is also my A5 size planner. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope this video was informative for you, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!